up, so we moved over here so we wouldn't get the
Gotcha.
line. So, anyways, Joe,
Das,
do you know how many times
this has been like every event we do together?
It's always like, oh, we should talk to
each other,
Joe.
and we're like, dude, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It never happens.
It never happens.
It's happening today.
It is. So
It's in the stars, right?
Or something. There's something up there. So many times we've come here to Intrepid. You are at Intrepid a lot.
Yes, I am.
And I've
home away
met
from home.
for like 4 years or something like that,
Yeah.
3 or 4 years. And I've met Jupiter Joe numerous times. I've talked to you on email, and it's always
Yep.
like, oh, we should set something up. Oh, we should get you on the live stream. And finally, after many years,
Dun, dun, dun.
here he is. Dude, what do you do? Jupiter Joe, like you
What's
got a
the-
shirt, it says Sidewalk Astronomy.
Sidewalk
like,
astronomy. Well, you know what? That really should change.
Yeah?
Because it's just astronomy everywhere.
just astronomy everywhere.
I started off doing sidewalk astronomy just because it was a passion that me and my daughters had.
Yeah.
They kind of really coaxed me into it.
Right?
I showed them Saturn actually for the first time through this brand new telescope that we bought, little
Yeah.
tiny 90mm telescope, which I still use today.
Nice.
And they fell in love with it. And the more we started going out observing together, they realized, oh, we should show Mary, we should show Armando, we should show his wife, we should show the kids. Next thing I know, it turned into everybody in the neighborhood, and here we are today. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that I've had look through all my telescopes,
No kidding.
and here we are chatting on Twitch.
So how did you, all right, you said, you had a telescope, you showed it with your family, right?
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, we should share this with some other people. That makes
Absolutely.
sense. That makes good sense. But how did you make the leap from, oh, I know y'all, you can put your eye on my eyepiece or whatever, to let's go stand on this, literally the sidewalk? Did you start on the sidewalk?
So I originally started on the sidewalk in front of my building.
No kidding.
Well, I started off on the roof of my building with just my daughters and myself.
Just the family.
Just the family.
Yeah.
And we had great views. But then we realized, well, we have to take it outside. Let's go in front of the building. So we did that. 100 people later that lined up,
Yeah.
we realized, oh, we need to go to a bigger place and a better place. As an early astronomer, I thought, let's go to the dark place. But then I became that creepy guy in the woods saying, come over here, I want to show you
Come to
something
the
in the
woods and look through my telescope, kid.
So that didn't really work. So I just brought the telescope out to any street corner I possibly could.
No kidding.
And every street corner turned into another street corner, turned into in front of a gas station, turned into me then saying, you know what? The best views you can get in the Bronx, because that's where we started is,
Yeah.
is on an elevated train station. And that's why I said we have to get rid of the sidewalk astronomy because we also do subway astronomy.
No
So
kidding.
we set up on platforms all throughout New York City. And the great thing about it is, you guys caught me just right before
Yeah.
I actually announced, and I'm going to announce it on your channel.
Uh-oh, what are you announcing?
All right.
But I don't know if we cleared this. Did we clear this? Like, yeah, you
August
can do it.
10th.
I'm in charge. Go for it.
August 10th, join Jupiter Joe, because I'm doing an astronomy marathon, subway astronomy style. So we're going to start in the Bronx.
Right.
We're going to have a 2-fare Metro card.
Yeah.
We're going to travel throughout the entire New York City boroughs.
Really?
On the subway. We're going to stop in each borough for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Meet with an astronomer inside each borough. Talk to them why they do outreach in their borough.
Yeah.
And then, that'll be on one fare that I do all the boroughs except for Staten Island. I will get off in Battery Park.
Right.
Hop on the ferry. Get over to Staten Island. Take the Staten Island rail line.
Right?
Switch at one of the intermediary switch lanes that I don't have to pay again to get back
Yeah.
on. Do my astronomy out there. Come back, take the ferry back to Manhattan, and we just did astronomy all throughout New York City on 2 fares in 10 hours.
You're crazy. Hey,
And
how are you going to do that? Like all night long or?
we're gonna start at noon.
Okay.
We're gonna start at 10.
Okay.
And go on till 10 p.m.
10 a.m.?
10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
So wait a second.
12 hours.
Are you going to be looking at the sun?
We're gonna be doing solar observing to start with. And then but I chose the 10th because first quarter moon.
Okay.
So at least by 4 o'clock, we'll have the moon.
You get the daytime moon
We'll
up
have
too.
the daytime moon.
Oh.
So how about that?
I still think you're crazy. Do you want to live stream it? No.
We will absolutely.
Wait, what is this?
We'll do some live streaming. I'm good with that.
You should have somebody like follow you around.
I do.
everywhere
I
you
will
go.
have some folks that are going to be following me. We will have some people filming it, and I will do a lot of live streaming throughout the way.
So is there like a website? Like you'll be at this borough at this time or something?
So all you have to do is follow JupiterJoesAstronomy.org.
Right?
I'm going to post up all the information
So
on
straight up
there.
website.
Straight website.
Okay.
www.jupiterjoesastronomy.org, not .com.
Gotcha.
I'm not selling you anything. I just want you to come out and smile. But yeah, visit the site. I'll have all the information put up there. I'm going to start promoting it.
Yeah.
Tonight, right here,
right now. Somebody clip it
with this guy. And
I think the route is long enough. You can't fit it in a clip, y'all.
Yeah. So we're gonna kill it.
Yeah.
It'll be the first time somebody's done that.
That's an awesome idea.
So
it's like bringing the astronomy to the people.
That's how you have to do it.
I was worried. I was like, well, you're not going to have enough hours in the night to be able to see it. And then you're going to be the weird guy in a subway station at 3 a.m.
And dude, when I'm done with my marathon,
yeah,
I'm not stopping astronomy. I still have to get home.
You still have to get home.
So I will still do astronomy along the way.
No kidding.
But I'll limit the marathon portion to just that.
What sort of telescope do you use for that?
So,
do you have one that's like portable, rugged, or?
I have lots of telescopes. Like I said, I started off with that little 90.
Yeah.
And the whole reason I did subway astronomy was because of that little 90 millimeter.
Yeah.
There's a Celestron Nexstar 90 SLT.
Okay.
It's about that big. Great views. Fantastic. You can't beat something like that for portability.
Yeah.
It's a great image. But I had to graduate from there. So with great support that I get from companies like Celestron, companies like Skywatcher USA, and individuals
doing the NASCAR sponsored call out.
These are people that have actually been able to say, we like what you're doing, we want to help support you. And with that, I've been able to collect a great number of telescopes that will do different things. So right now we have telescopes that are great for planetary images.
Right.
We have telescopes that are dedicated for solar observing.
Oh.
We have telescopes that flip-flop for both. So a little bit of everything. And for this event, I will be using 2 different telescopes. We haven't decided which ones we're going to go with.
Okay.
One of them will be a solar telescope that will show hydrogen alpha, which that's the
hardcore one. Yeah,
that's the hardcore one. So
do you have to cool it?
No. Well, all telescopes have to be brought to temperature so that you get the best image.
Okay.
So that's what I was trying to explain to people here, because as soon as you set up a telescope, it's like, hey, telescope. Yeah. They want to grab onto the telescope. But the most important thing that I let people know is, listen, it needs about 45 minutes to an hour to really cool down, or to just acclimate. So whatever the temperature is, that way you're not getting that turbulence, especially if you have like a sealed cell, like a Schmidt-Cassegrain or a Maxitol.
I know some of these words.
Yeah, so these telescopes are telescopes that are enclosed, they have glass on the front, so that tube inside is generating a lot of heat, and it has to come to temperature. So I try to explain that to people. Give it a little chill time. Yeah. Once you get it to the right temperature and it's equated with the outdoors, you're going to get perfect views. Okay. You don't have that turbulence inside that's giving you like a shaky image. Or
all right, so is that going to cause a problem because you're going from like outside to the subway to underground? Is that going to cause a...
Did you just not hear what you said?
No, that's what I was wondering.
You just said the operative word, subway.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard a subway that goes... No, right?
Okay.
You've heard subways like...
Dude, I grew up in Texas. We don't have subways, all right? We have like cows and horses and pickup trucks.
Oh, there you go.
So you're like, oh, subways do this, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So what do you mean?
The whole thing about subways is, when I set up on a train platform, you have to contend with that. So you have to explain that to people like, all right, you have 30 seconds
to see this.
And that's why that was my favorite part about New York City subways.
Yeah.
Adding the times when the trains are coming. Because now we could forecast and say, all right, guys, you have a minute out before the train comes.
Gotcha.
Get your views in now. Once the train pulls off, then we'll be good again. Beautiful thing about subway astronomy is I can do sidewalk astronomy like this for free.
Right.
People come out and they're like, oh, this is great. Let me go get my family, go get my girlfriend. Let me go get my friends.
Yeah.
Let me go pull people out the bar. Like whatever we're going to do, right? But when you're doing subway astronomy, I have a captured audience.
Right.
They're not going
stuck
anywhere.
There. They're waiting for the next train.
They're stuck waiting for their train. That's why I do it.
Thinking.
But always thinking.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is when somebody tells me, I'm going to go home and get my family. Will you be here for another hour?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll be here for another hour.
Oh, that's
they
awesome.
go home, get their family, and then they pay fares to come and see me.
To come back to where you are?
To come back to where I am. So when you start
you must be doing
stuff
something
like that,
cool, man.
That's what I was going to say. When you're doing something like that, you know you're reaching out to the people.
Yeah.
You know that you're inspiring people. And I know you guys can't see it, but there's a heck of a line going on.
There is. No, I told them there's 50, 60 people in line earlier.
So
God.
We do this a lot. I mean, I think the most people I've ever done outreach with at one point in time, we probably cleared about a little over 800 people.
Wow.
I mean, here we've done more, but I'm talking about 800 people on my line.
Yeah.
Like, that's just unheard of. Like, that's me foaming at the mouth because I'm like waiting for something to drink, or wearing Depends because I have to go to the bathroom.
You have to go to the bathroom.
Like Listen, I'm just saying this. You guys should know.
It's hardcore astronomy.
This hardcore astronomy, there's not a lot of times where I'm doing this out in the street and there's a bathroom, or I'm not leaving a $4,000 telescope sitting on the sidewalk like, can you watch this for me while I go to the bathroom?
Hey, random guy. We just like,
Exactly.
I trust you, right? I trust you.
But I have met great volunteers like that.
Yeah.
People that were just like, I'll watch that for you. And I was like, you know what? You've been out here like 5 times. I trust you.
That's cool.
So, New York's not a bad place, guys.
It really
Come on
isn't.
out. Come visit. Visit us at the Intrepid. Visit us in Times Square.
Yeah.
I'll be in Times Square tomorrow. We're taking over Times Square.
Wait, how do you do it in Times Square?
Oh, man, you just
it's like
gotta
the
time it.
brightest place.
It's the brightest place, except for last week when we had a blackout,
Oh.
which I was really upset I wasn't there.
Oh, man.
But Times Square is not just the crossroads of the world,
Right?
but it's also the crossroads of entertainment, and I want to bring something different to Times Square.
Crossroads of communication, almost. Really,
Exactly.
this is another type of communication.
Exactly, but I also want to make Times Square that crossroads of education as well.
That's cool.
And that's something that it kind of never really had in the past.
Yeah.
It started building that up with a lot of the like the Discovery Center and things of that nature.
Right?
But this is something that we're doing for free where people don't expect it. I set up right next to Elmo and Mickey Mouse. Like, if you're doing that.
So it's like, here's the guy dressed as Spider-Man, all right? This guy has pants on, which is nice. Then we got you with
it
your
is good
telescope.
on occasion.
I've been through Times Square.
But listen, it's it can be a very entertaining place.
Yeah.
But it's a really inspiring place where you can see so many different people come out.
That's awesome.
And they all have a story. Everybody has a story of why they're there, why they came there, and why they were gravitated to me with the telescope, or one of my volunteers with their telescopes. So again, it's not just me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm Jupiter Joe, but Jupiter Joe is so many volunteers that come out that make it what it is.
Yeah.
I can't talk to you right now if I didn't have
If
volunteers.
the volunteer, exactly.
You know,
Because there's a
banging it
volunteer
out.
watching the
Exactly.
telescope, helping the people make sure they're not like bumping it and stuff, or licking the
a lot of
eyepiece
people
or whatever.
think about this and they're like, oh yeah, it's just him, but no.
Yeah.
It's a team, it's a family, it's the people that make it happen because they're inspired by
Dude,
it.
that's awesome. I gotta ask, all right.
Fire away, brother.
And if you don't want to ask, because I get this question all the time, and then I want to like turn it around, and I just hit my mic.
Dun,
sorry.
dun, dun.
I turn around, and people are like, "God, dude, how can this be your full-time job? Like, is this your full-time job? So, do you do this in the evenings for fun? This is like an outreach thing?
I don't do it for fun. I do it for passion.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah. If
But
I was doing it for fun, I'd be doing it in a lounge chair.
is it like your full-time job
No,
to do this?
I really do wish it was my full-time job. I mean, I love my job.
But you do it completely for free, so
I
that's
do
rough,
it completely
right?
for free.
Yeah.
For the most part, like there are events, of course, like
Sure,
people
that'll
want you to
cover
do a wedding
expenses
or
whatever.
something like
do
that.
a wedding?
Yeah,
You've
man.
done a wedding?
Done weddings.
That's awesome.
Not only have I done weddings, I've done proposals.
Really?
Yeah, a lady hired me one time because she wanted to propose to her boyfriend.
What?
So
How does that work?
Show him the stars.
You put like a thing in the telescope, and when he looks through, it's like, oh, will you marry me?
It was literally, she just said, I wanted to show you the stars before I told you that I love you.
Oh.
And then she actually proposed to him.
No kidding.
So it was fantastic.
Truly bringing people together. Literally bringing people together.
So yeah, it's not my
kidding.
full-time job. My full-time job is I'm a compliance officer and a project manager.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you
that's
find
what I've done.
time
That's
to
what I've
do
done
all
for
this?
years. For the
Ah.
past, I don't know, 13 years. That's what I've done for different companies.
No kidding.
But at the heart of it, when my daughters and I started this back in 2010,
Yep.
and here we are 9 years later, and it's
You've been doing it for 9 years.
9 years doing it for the public like this,
No.
and I couldn't picture stopping at any time.
Yeah.
So
God,
I don't
man.
care what it is, and to be quite honest, and not to throw like Debbie Downer or
No,
anything,
but whatever.
But like, so I had cancer, and throughout cancer, this is what I did, and I thought I wouldn't be able to do it because they told me I couldn't go outside in the sun. They told me I wouldn't be able to interact with the public. And the first couple of times I threw on latex gloves, I threw on a mask, I threw on a hat, and I did it. And it's what kept me going.
It was like you're not anti-drug, but you know what I mean, like just saying like that.
It's what kept me engaged. And sure, I have the war rooms for war room.
War wounds.
The war rooms. So from the chemotherapy, I couldn't miss solar observing because if you guys don't know, the sun goes through cycles. And if you catch it at its top cycle, it's really active sunspots,
like
solar
nuts.
prominences. It's awesome.
Yeah.
When you catch it down on the low, it's down on the low. You're catching nothing.
God. Just like a
And
circle
at
in the
that
sky.
point in time, it was a high point, so I wanted to be able to see the sun.
Yeah.
So I used to wear UV gloves and everything, but I forgot to cover my head, so I have these check marks
Oh,
on
wow.
my forehead. And you know what? I look at them as badges of doing a good deed.
You were out there and doing something, man.
Yep.
You were out there accomplishing something. Not just accomplishing something, but sharing it with other people.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
giving.
that's what I tell people all the time. Don't let anything stop you.
Dude, for most of these people, this is probably the first time they've looked through a telescope.
Exactly.
Honestly, it's the first time they've seen with their own eyes Jupiter or the rings of Saturn
Yep.
or the craters on the moon. Because I know I've seen through your telescope the craters on the moon before.
Insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
that's why people ask me all the time, can you see footprints? Can you see a flag?
Yeah.
Can you see? And I'll show them like one crater, like let's take Copernicus for instance,
Yep,
like right in the center. Copernicus is huge. Copernicus is 57 miles in diameter.
God.
So that's from the tip of Manhattan in Battery Park all the way up to Newburgh, New York, going up the Hudson River. Like, imagine trying to find a size 13 inside of all that.
No kidding.
All right?
Yeah.
So you got to put things in perspective.
In perspective, yeah. And that's what we were talking about earlier. We had the LRO, the imagery from Noah Petro, and it's like here we have a satellite out around the moon so you can see that. So it's like your frame of reference almost.
Exactly.
Like here from New York City, we can see these big things. You can see crags and mountains and craters and shadows and all sorts of crazy
Because
stuff.
most people you talk to, and I'm sure you run through the same thing, tell people something's a mile away, and they really don't know what a mile
What the
away
heck
is.
is that, man?
They're like, oh, I heard it was like 20 blocks in school, but is that like New York City blocks, or is that Texas blocks? Is that like Avenue blocks?
What's
or
a
is it
Texas
street
block
blocks?
even, like?
Right? Like it's just, it's all different.
Yeah.
Right? So I just like, you have to start putting things in that perspective.
Yeah.
And like, you see the Empire State Building over there, that's 2.3 miles away. But once
That's
you start doing
awesome.
things like that,
Yeah.
then they can start visually like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I realize how big or really small the Earth is.
God. I learned something today.
There you
I
go,
didn't know.
brother.
So apparently Noah was giving his talk, and he said that the surface area of the moon is a little bit more than the surface area of Africa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like I do space, I guess, for a living, I guess, and I didn't know that little bit of fact. But it's like, whoa, the moon's a lot smaller than I thought, actually.
Yeah.
This is what I went through my head. Like, but you can sit here, you can be in New York City, and you can look up. Oh, it's so terrible. There's pollution. It's not a good environment to look. Whatever. The best time to look at the sky is whenever you want to go.
Whenever you can see it.
Whenever you can see it.
Yeah. Especially in the Northeast.
Yeah. They could have come up with a little bit better, like a tagline there. Like the best time to look at the sky is now.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, like there are great things that are out there.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, don't be discouraged by the light pollution, because you know what?
Yeah.
If you're discouraged now by the light pollution, and 15 years from now,
Oh.
what are you gonna say?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had seen it when the
Wish
sky
I
was
had seen
darker.
it then, yeah.
Take
No
the
kidding.
opportunities that are given to you and go with it.
Well, you're taking an opportunity that you sort of have, and you're sharing it with so many other people, which is fantastic,
appreciate
dude.
it.
That's awesome. Chat, we need to let Joe get back over to his thing because we've sort of pushed the volunteers over there. I'm going to scroll through real quick and see if there's any questions for you.
Fire away, brother.
If there was a question or something, we'll get like a question or two. Just post in the chat real quick. People are going to put a bunch of hearts in chat for you as well because they appreciate what you're doing, man. Let's see here. Doing the Rockefeller stop. Is that you'll put together the list of all the stops you're doing for your New York tour.
So for this, as for the marathon,
Right.
I'm going to have an actual MTA map,
Right.
and it will have all the
Where you're gonna be
locations
at
where I'm
what
gonna
time
be,
and that sort of
the time
stuff.
that we're shooting for.
Gotcha.
So I will have a tracker on the website that'll let people know exactly where I'm at.
What time you're going to be or where you're at right now. Gotcha.
We'll be A-OK.
Yeah, I love the idea. Wait. Oh, Teddy, that's a completely different thing. All right. Vibration problems. Yeah, we were talking about the vibration problems.
Sure.
So we had a massive vibration problem. We were down in Florida, and there was a freight train track next to us. And somebody brought out the telescope that had an HDMI, and we plugged it into the stream. And we were looking at Saturn. Dude, when the train rolled by, Saturn was like, blah, 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 blah,
Exactly.
and that was, 100 yards away the train tracks were. I can't imagine being on the actual
train platform. Yeah.
You've done it? You've done it before. You've been
All
on the
the time.
platform before.
Yeah.
He's like, all the time. Like, Tuesday. What do you think?
Dude, I would have a regular night for it.
God. Here's a good one. Do you have a telescope that you recommend for beginners?
So I try not to recommend telescopes to beginners, only because unless they've actually looked through telescopes before, and they already have a mindset of like, you know what, I like this telescope, I like what it does. Me personally, however, I like to recommend the one that I started off with, which was the Celestron 90 SLT, the Nexstar 90 SLT. And the only reason for that is because I'm in New York City. It's really hard. Like, you can look around, you can see Jupiter, you can see Saturn over there, but it's really hard to find any other stars so that you can actually do a proper alignment. So if you have a telescope that you need to align,
do like the star alignment?
it gets a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
With Celestron telescopes, they can do solar system alignments. So that being the case, you can align to Jupiter, any other planet that you can see, or the moon, or the sun.
Okay.
And then you can change the actual speed that the telescope tracks at to match that.
Based on,
And because of that, those are the ones that I try and push people towards.
Gotcha.
And the whole reason is, I want people to use a telescope that they're actually going to use.
Because
as
opposed
a lot
to,
of times,
it's here in the corner.
I bought that telescope, the picture on the box showed Saturn like this, and I saw people on it and everything. No, you're not going to see that. You're going to see a great image, you're going to be inspired. Don't look at those telescope pictures on the box.
Yeah.
But just be ready to say, wow.
Realistic expectations.
I was underwhelmed for a moment, but now that I look at it more, this is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's usually a telescope that I pitch because it's like $350.
Yeah. What was it again?
The Celestron Nexstar 90 SLT.
Nexstar 90 SLT. Somebody can type that into chat or find a link or something.
There you go.
For sure. People talking about aligning telescopes with not enough stars visible and that sort of stuff. There's your Twitter, there's your website and stuff. We're putting clickable links in the chat. Twitter,
thank you guys.
Joe.
And the
Excellent.
website will be updated. I know the website is a little back. I've been doing a lot of events, and it's just me doing this right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so soon enough for the marathon,
Gotcha.
we will have that out there. And then I'm just gonna drop another bomb on this one. So if it's not bad enough that we're gonna do the marathon on August 10th, November 11th. That's when we're going to have our Mercury transit. That's when Mercury passes between the Earth and the Sun, and we'll be able to see it go across the Sun. We're going to have a subway astronomy marathon on that as well.
That's
will
cool.
culminate right down here. So we're all going to come together from different subway platforms, from different boroughs, different astronomers, all coming in one location.
That's awesome.
All right, so keep your eyes open, ears open.
Go to the website, follow you on Twitter, etc.,
etc.
etc. Yeah. God. Last question, and then we'll let you go, man. Thank you
Fire
so much
away.
for the time. Are all of your telescopes bought? Like, did you buy them all?
No,
Have you ever made one?
like I was saying, so I have tried to make one.
Right?
I failed miserably.
Me too, honestly.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I can build stuff. I'm really good with my hands. But yeah, I failed miserably.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest with you, yes, there is a passion project for building a telescope. If you're there grinding it, like if you see some people out there
grinding it,
hours, they're grinding their own
gosh.
mirrors and stuff like that. That is pure dedication.
Yeah.
I love that. But I have like 150 people that are waiting
in line.
And the last thing I want to do is like, I'm going to build this telescope and I'm going to get to you in about 6 months. So yes, I've purchased a lot of my telescopes. A lot of my telescopes have been donated by some companies.
That's awesome.
And I appreciate that. And some of the telescopes have been donated by individuals that no longer have a use for them.
Gotcha.
So please don't let your telescope collect dust in the back of a closet.
Yep.
If you have something, you want to donate it, I take all donations because it all goes to somebody else.
That's
Most
cool.
of the telescopes I get, I give to volunteers so they can do it in their boroughs and their neighborhoods.
Man, you do awesome stuff. That's all I gotta say. You do awesome stuff, man.
Now, just to let you guys know, I have been trying to track this man down because
I don't hide for a living.
because I bought Kerbal a long time ago, right? And I need some education on Kerbal. So I'm just throwing that out there. You're going to be my go-to.
We can do some sidewalk Kerbal Space Academy.
That's what I want to do.
Look through the telescope, play some Kerbal here. Like,
there we go. So I'm just throwing it out there.
God.
That'll be our next video together.
That sounds like a good plan. Joe, we'll let you get back to your thing. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Again, chat, it's Jupiter Joe at the Intrepid Senior Space Museum. Click on his Twitter, give him a follow, go to his website, look for the marathon. Joe, you're awesome, dude.
Thank you, guys. You're awesome.
We will see you later. God. All right. Dude, that was awesome.
Have a great one, brother.